welcome to the Webcast for Tuesday, August 12th. I'm South Ops meteorologist Jonathan O'Brien. The marine layer is a little deeper this morning, still fairly shallow, but likely a preview of a trend towards a much deeper marine influence by later this week. But otherwise, it's a status quo morning with clear skies across the interior, and once again a robust plume of smoke coming off of the long-lived Gifford fire. Here's a look at the overnight maximum RH values from last night. They were pretty similar to the night before, still very good across the lower elevations, but overall showing a modest drying trend across the mid and upper elevations with a little more in the way of fair to poor recoveries, and we'll likely see that trend continue into tonight. We have one more day of a true high-pressure pattern in place, and so it's going to be another warm one out there. Temperatures will mostly be just a degree or two cooler than yesterday as onshore flow starts to increase and the high pressure starts to weaken, but nonetheless still a very summery day. The forecast has changed little for the next several days. Tomorrow is a transition day as this area of high pressure will begin to weaken and break down, and from there we'll settle into a pattern of broad but fairly weak troughing along and off the west coast, a pattern which will carry us all the way into the start of next week. By the middle of next week, there are growing indications that we will finally see the emergence of a traditional four corners high-pressure system, likely trending us back to warmer weather and possibly bringing us an increase in monsoon moisture. For the next couple of days, the main story will be the lingering elevated fire weather conditions. In addition to the warm weather, it will remain dry with minimum humidity mainly in the upper single digits and teens above and inland from the marine layer influence through Wednesday. There will also continue to be areas of fair to poor recoveries overnight, especially at mid and upper elevations. As the high-pressure area weakens, it will also bring about some increase in winds. It's not a classic ridge breakdown event that would produce any true critical winds across our region, but it could still cause us some problems. Of particular concern is the potential for enhanced northwest to north winds from Santa Barbara County to the I-5 corridor the next couple of days, especially Wednesday, when winds of 20 to 30 miles per hour and gusts to 45 miles per hour are likely. Even though Wednesday will be a couple of degrees cooler, it will still be seasonably warm and dry, so the increase in winds could increase fire concerns. But from there, the developing troughing pattern will bring us some relief. A cooling trend will continue through the weekend with temperatures falling several degrees below normal. Valley highs will drop into the mid-80s to low 90s this weekend, and minimum humidity will increase to between 12 and 25% above and inland from the marine influence Thursday through early next week. The marine layer will also become substantially deeper with widespread night and morning low clouds west of the coastal slopes. So overall, while it will still be somewhat warm and dry across the interior, it's looking like a pretty low-impact pattern, especially for this time of year, once we get through the elevated conditions of the next couple days. And finally, we still have some thunderstorm chances in the forecast this week, though most of us won't be seeing any. The risk will be concentrated across the Sierra and mainly across the high terrain along and east of the Sierra Crest, thanks to some increased lift and instability from the developing troughing pattern. Isolated afternoon showers and thunderstorms will be possible any day from today all the way through Saturday. This doesn't look like too big of a deal, however. Storm coverage looks fairly low, and any storm should be slow-moving and wet, with minimal concern for significant fire activity, especially amidst the cooling temperature trend this week. Still, a couple of new high-elevation ignitions are possible. Perhaps by later next week, there may be a better chance of more widespread thunderstorm activity as we may finally see a more traditional monsoon pattern develop. We will see another couple of days of critically dry and near record low dead fuel moistures through the middle of the week as the warm and dry weather continues. Expect fuels to be highly receptive across all classes in most areas. By later this week, however, we'll start to see some relief as dead fuel moistures steadily tick upwards in an increasingly cool and humid pattern, especially along and west of the coastal slopes, but even for inland areas as well. While it may only be short-term relief, it will at least take the edge off of the current very dry conditions. So to sum up, the large fire threat will remain elevated through Wednesday as very warm and dry conditions continue, with active burning conditions during the daytimes and potential for well-established fires to burn actively at night due to areas of poor recovery. The increased winds on Wednesday will also be a concern for more in the way of spread and spotting potential. However, fire concerns will decrease later this week through the weekend as temperatures cool and the marine layer deepens, with fire potential trending below normal for this time of year. But again, by next week, we'll probably be back in the game with hotter weather and potentially more lightning concerns as well. Expect moderate initial attack activity to continue through Wednesday, with lighter IA by the end of this week. That's it for today's webcast. Thanks for joining us. The next one will be on Wednesday, August 13th.